Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Thank you for tuning in to TTV. I am your host, Toya. Today is October 17th, 2021. The time right now here in Warren, Michigan is 12:41 p.m. And I am rocking my Detroit Pistons hoodie. Gotta represent, I know it's not basketball season, but whatever. It's still Detroit. I'm just representing Detroit, okay? But anyway, because that's where I was born and raised. But anyway, happy Sunday to you. I hope you are enjoying your day. It is cold here, which is why I have on the hoodie. But today I wanted to go over transitioning to different lifestyles. So someone came to me because they were having some issues with blood pressure and they were asking for tips on how to transition to a healthier lifestyle. And in the process of me giving them information, somebody else asked me, did you do a video on this? Because if you didn't, you should. So here I am doing a video on this. And I kind of broke it down to just basically 3 steps, just three things to work on so you don't feel overwhelmed and like it's impossible and it's crazy. So like I said, I limited it down to just 3 steps, 3 easy steps. Okay. So the first one is you have to make a decision on what lifestyle it is that you're trying to go for. Like, what does that look like to you? If you're on medication, maybe it's you coming off of your medication. If you're starting medication, again, maybe it's you wanting to work off into where you no longer need it. Maybe you want to become vegan or, plant-based. Maybe you're just trying to be vegetarian or just cut back or just eat healthier. Whatever it is that your goal is trying to be, whatever that is, that's what you want to work towards. Okay. That's what you want to make that decision so that you can work towards. And real quick, just to give you a quick breakdown on the difference between a vegan and a vegetarian. So a vegetarian doesn't eat meat. They may still eat some seafood, which will make them, I think it's paleo, paleo something. Anyway, there's one for people who only eat seafood. But in any case, vegetarian, they don't eat any meat. So they'll still have dairy, cheese, eggs, stuff like that. They just don't eat meat. Then you have the vegans that don't eat any animal byproducts, nothing that comes from an animal. And some even go to the extreme of where they won't even eat honey. Okay. So they don't have fish. They don't have dairy. They don't have eggs. They don't have anything that came from an animal. Okay. So that's the difference between vegan and a vegetarian. So just pick your lifestyle. What is it that it looks like? How do you see that? So figure that part out so that you can figure out what you're transitioning into. The second step is just start removing and making changes to your habits, to your lifestyle. So it could be removing white sugar from your diet. So instead of drinking pop, maybe you're drinking a sparkling water that doesn't have any added sugar. Instead of coffee every day, maybe you switch to a black coffee. Instead of using milk, regular milk and cream and sugar and all of that in your coffee, maybe you use a plant-based milk that you sweeten with dates, that you blend the dates up with it to add sweetness to that. And that's what you put in your coffee. So you just try to find what different ways to eliminate whatever it is that you're trying to remove from your diet. So like I said, it could be sugar. It could be your refined carbs like pasta. Well, let me change that because I shouldn't say general pasta because they do have alternatives now. So you can get like pasta that's made out of lentils. You can get pasta that's made out of black beans. You can get pasta that's made out of all these other different things instead of just your traditional pasta. Kemet is a good one, a good substitute because it's a good grain that works with your body. What's another one? They got them out of chickpeas now. So they got all kind of pastas that you can have that are not made from your carbohydrate, your white flours or wheat flours or things that have been processed like that. Y'all can't see, but my baby's sitting here trying to get me to play with her. So just figure out, start removing some of those things and making replacements. Maybe you're just gonna take out your sugar for the week, and then maybe the next week you remove breads. Maybe the next week after that you remove pop. Just start trying to clean up your diet by removing things that you no longer want to have, that are not in that lifestyle that you're trying to get to in the end. So just start slowly removing those, and then you can bring in substitutions. So like I said, instead of sugar, use dates. Instead of sugar, maybe using honey or maple syrup or agave. Agave syrup is good because, again, it doesn't raise your glycemic levels. Maple syrup is good, but you have to make sure that, one, you're getting pure maple syrup, and you want it to be dark amber. It used to be called grade B because it had maintained all its minerals that weren't taken out from it like it was for the regular maple syrup that was put out there, but they had some label disputes, and now it's dark amber. So with maple syrup, the darker it is, the more minerals and things that it contains for you. So, you can use that. You can go to honey, which honey is antibacterial, antimicrobe, antifungal. Like, honey is just beautiful. It works with your system. It creates, it helps your immune system. It's a wonderful replacement to add in your tea. Some people put it in a coffee, so you can transition to that. When you go to the grocery store, instead of going to the middle aisles where all the processed foods are, like your chips and, your rice, pre-made rice or potatoes or pastas and all that stuff that's in the middle, you stick to the outside. So you go to your fresh fruits and produce. You get stuff over there. If you're still eating meat, then you go to the back and you get your fresh organic meat. Or you go to, actually, that's probably about it. The only thing on the inside that you would go to would be frozen fruits and vegetables, or your nuts, seeds, and berries. That stuff will also be in the middle sections, but that's pretty much where you limit your shopping. And that's something you want to transition into and start. One of the biggest things that you can do to help boost your health is increase the amount of green leafy vegetables you have. Okay. So as you're making these substitutions and you're making these changes and you're removing things from your diet, one of the things you want to add to your diet is green leafy vegetables. Okay. Say it with me, people. Green leafy vegetables. Okay. They are extremely good for your the whole system, the whole body. They have fibers, they have minerals, they have all the good nutrients in them to help your system, okay? To help you focus, to give you energy. Like, all that stuff is contained. This is about to pop off. All those are contained in your green leafy vegetables, okay? So you want to make sure you start incorporating things like kale. Dandelion leaf is excellent. Did you know dandelion has more beta carotene in it than carrot? So it's better for your eyes. Better for your eyes, people, okay? Along with a number of other benefits that it has. But your chard, what else do they have? There's 3 different kinds of kale that I know I've seen in most grocery stores. They have more versions, of course, but it's 3 that I see in the grocery stores all the time. So you have your purple kale, you have the regular kale everybody sees, and then there's another one called Lucindo. Anyway, the other name for it is dinosaur kale. It's actually one of my favorites. I love that. I will chop that up with some Brussels sprouts and then put some onions and garlic and stuff in there, season it with some onion powder, garlic powder, little pepper, couple of spritz of Bragg's amino acids, saute that together, and I mean it. I'll put it on sandwiches. I do my replacement egg, so I'll do my pumpkin seed scramble with it. I put it on top of some corn grits. I make sandwiches. That is my go-to. I love that combination. I love that mixture. And sometimes I add mushrooms and all kind of peppers and stuff to it, whatever I have. But that is the base. Those 2, the dinosaur kale and the Brussels sprouts, chopped up, delicious. I'm telling you. So you just have to make those transition, and you want to incorporate dark green leafy vegetables. Okay. So, and it doesn't, I shouldn't just say dark. Dark is the best, of course, because anything darker, anything that's a little more bitter, those are going to be the ones that are better for you. They're going to have more minerals, more nutrients in it to boost your system. So you can still do your romaine lettuce. You can still do the butter leaf. You can still do all of that. I don't really have iceberg. Iceberg lettuce is really just eating water. So you don't really get a whole lot of nutrients from it. It is high in vitamin K, which your body does need. But outside of that, you don't really get too much from iceberg. You know, if you're dehydrated, then yeah, iceberg will be one of your go-tos if you make your salad, because it's going to help to hydrate you. Just like cleaner water. If you're still one of those who are drinking tap water, please stop. Please stop. Tap water has so much in it, okay? Just think about this. They have to clean those pipes that the water runs through. How do you think they do it? They put the cleaner in the water and let it run through the pipes. That's the same water that comes out your faucet. I'm just saying. Get you some clean water. Just switching your water can make a world of difference. So stop. If you are one of those that are drinking tap water, please stop. Please stop. Get you a filter. Put a filter on your faucet. Get you a filter for in your refrigerator. If you're going to get something like a Brito or Zero filter, something like that. Or get you some spring water, some distilled water, some purified water. Get something like that. I do not recommend those alkaline waters. If you want to alkaline your body, you alkaline it with the foods you eat. And that would be the stuff that's in the produce section. Okay. So it's going to be your green leafy vegetables. It's going to be your fruits. It's going to be all that stuff you see. So the eggplant and the parsnips and, you know, your romaine lettuce, your kale, the apples, the oranges, the bananas, pineapple, all of that is what will alkaline your body. You do not need your water to alkaline your body. You need your food to alkaline your body. So it actually puts more work on your body to be drinking the alkaline water. So I don't recommend it. That's me. While I'm at it too, because I don't know if I said it or not, but before you start any type of transition, sorry, y'all. I turned the heat on today, so the house is getting kind of dry. But before you start any transition or any lifestyle change, and I don't have no water in here, you want to make sure that you consult your physician, especially if you're on medications. I'm gonna have to pause this. I gotta get some water. Okay, I'm back. I'll start talking about my water. My body like, honey, I need some. So I got my water. But yeah, you want your foods to be what actually alkalines your system. You don't need your water to do that. It actually causes more harm than it does good. So stay away from that. I would prefer you drink tap water than alkaline water. And I just told you about the tap water. So we don't want to do that either. But yeah, stick to like spring water, distilled water, purified water, something like that. Stay away from the tap water, please, people. Please, let's get some cleaner water in our systems. But that's another thing that you can do too that will make a greater change. So that was step 2. Making your substitutions, how you shop at the grocery store. After you figured out what kind of change you're trying to make, you're starting to remove stuff and substitute it with different things. And then the third step is just remember, it's not about what you can't have. So don't tell yourself, I can't have pizza. I can't have French fries. I can't have a cheeseburger. I can't have, fried chicken. It's not that you can't have it, okay? So the third thing I want you to realize is it's not that you can't have it. It's just figure out a different way of having it. That's it. You can still eat pizza. Do you know they have so many different ways of doing pizza crust now? They make it out of chickpea. They make it out of cauliflower. I think I even seen one that was made out of lentils. Like there's so many different ways that you can do it now to where you can still have it. It's just going to be in a different manner. Instead of buying the store-bought pizza sauce, you make it yourself. Get you some tomatoes, blend them up, let them simmer. Once they simmer down and a lot of the water starts coming out of them, you season it the way you want it with the seasonings, like some Italian seasonings, um, like basil, oregano, thyme, maybe some rosemary. Could have put a little bit of Bragg's amino acids in there for the salt. You can even put a date, like if you're using a regular date, you can blend up a regular date with it to give it some sweetness to take away some of the bitterness of the tomatoes. And then which dates there's a difference. The regular pitted dates are going to be less sweet than the medjool dates. So the medjool dates are the ones most people are talking about all the time. And then you have your regular pitted dates. The pitted dates are less sweet. So it might be something that you would prefer to have in your pizza sauce rather than something as sweet as a medjool date. So blend that all up, cook it down, season it. Put your garlic in there, put some onion powder in there, put some parsley in there, like I said, some oregano and all this. You season it up, let it simmer and cook down so the water simmers down and it thickens. And then that's your pizza sauce. Instead of cheese, you can go get you a vegan cheese. Yes, it is still processed because they're still going to have some preservatives and some, starches in there, but some of them are not as bad as others. One brand that I like to use, which tastes really good to me, is So Delicious. Another one is Good Planet. Those are two cheeses those are pretty much my two vegan cheeses that I go for when I'm trying to make something that I need to be a little cheesy. The other thing is you can make your own. There's a great recipe on YouTube where the lady used coconut milk to make the cheeses. She uses coconut milk. She uses miso paste, which I replace with chickpea miso because I'm trying to stay away from soy. Soy doesn't like my reproductive system. I just put it like that. And it's a few people I know that have had issues with soy when it comes to their reproductive system. So you want to be careful with your soy intake. But you can make your own cheese. It's really easy. Like it takes like probably about 5 or 10 minutes to make. And then you just put it in the refrigerator until it sets and molds. And then you do whatever you want to do with it. The same thing you would do with the cheese, with the regular cheese, a dairy cheese, cow cheese. So that's something else you can do. So it's not that you can't have it. It's just find a different way. You want some fried chicken? Take some jackfruit and fry it up. Jackfruit is a good replacement for your shredded meats. So for like chicken, you can wrap it up. You can cook it down. You season it in a broth. So you season it up. So season the way you want it to taste. They do have who is it? Better Than Bouillon. I love them. They have one, it's a vegan chicken. They also have their vegetable stock one. Those are bouillons that you can use to cook the jackfruit in. You simmer it in there for about 10-15 minutes along with some other seasonings, whatever you would normally use on your chicken. You simmer it down and then you let it cool to where you can work with. You strain it and let it cool because you want it to be kind of on the dry side. And then you take get you a clump of it and you wrap it up in some rice paper and you stick it in the freezer so that everything can set. And then once that is, fry it up. There's your chicken. So it's different ways that you can find different ways of doing it. So again, it's not that you can't have it. It's just, how can I have this? How can I still get this? You want French fries? Have French fries, but cut them up. Only put a little bit of oil, just enough to coat them, just barely enough to coat them. Okay. So probably a tablespoon for a whole 1 or 2 potatoes that you're making and throw them in the oven. Put a little pepper on there, some onion powder, Bragg's amino acids, or if you're still using salt and some pink sauce, the Himalayan salt or some Celtic salt on there, and throw it in the oven at a high temperature, like 400, 425, until they crispen up and get done. So it's not that you can't have it. You want a burger? You can still have a burger. There's a wonderful black bean burger that's on YouTube where the chef did in Windsor. He put in there, I think it was black beans, oats, mushrooms. What else did he have in there? A bunch of seasonings, jalapeno, onion, garlic. I even made it where I put kale in there. Like he puts all these ingredients in there and it forms a patty and then you cook it. So you put it in, you throw it in the oven, you can bake it. and it's still the same. Like, you can still have it. It's just, it's going to be different. So it's not that you can't have anything anymore. You can't have this. I can't have that. I can't have. No, you can still have it. It's just, how can I still have this? How can I make this healthy? How can I make this where it's going to work with my body instead of work against my body? Okay. So that would be the third step, is just change your mindset on it. It's not what you can't have. It's how can I have this? You know, and in the end, everything you're doing is working towards your end goal. Okay, because once you get to your end goal and you're starting to make that transition and you removed a lot of unhealthy things from your diet, you removed a lot of unhealthy things out of your lifestyle, then you can start doing other things to help. You can start with intermittent fasting, which is where you pick a certain amount of time. Most people go with 8 hours. So they pick an 8-hour window in the day that they allow themselves to eat. And then outside of that 8-hour window, they don't eat. And what it does is it gives your body more time to rejuvenate itself and to repair itself and to work on itself. Another one is to do a cleanse. You can do this dog, I swear. You can do a cleanse to clean out your body, clean out your system. And it could be vary from something as simple as like a Daniel fast, where you're having soups and you basically a raw food diet with some cooked foods like soups, to juicing, to smoothies, to just a lemonade drink, the lemonade cleanse that I went over. You can check the cleansing video for that I did, and where I discussed the different cleanses. But you can choose to do a cleanse to clean your system out. You can incorporate things like a green drink. It's a green drink that I try to drink every day. I'm kind of bad with it on the weekend, but during the week, I'm pretty good. On the weekend, I'm pretty bad about everything. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm tired. I don't feel like doing nothing. So I might not even eat until 6 o'clock at night, okay? Hence my body needing this water today. But yeah, you can do your green drink. What the green drink is you use the juice of half a lemon, and then green leafy vegetables. The one I use on the regular, or as often as I can get it, is the dandelion leaf. I'll blend up the dandelion leaf with something else. So it could be romaine lettuce. It could be butter leaf. It could be kale. It could be whatever. But you blend all of that together, and then you drink it down. You blend it with water. I use distilled water, but you blend it with the water, drink it down. It's an excellent blood cleanser. It'll give you a boost of energy. It'll help detox you as well. But again, it's a wonderful blood cleaner. So that's another something that you can incorporate into your diet once you start reaching the goals and where you're trying to be. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, the meat. So if you're still going to eat meat and include meat in your diet, I am not one of those. I'm not judging you. I'm not saying anything against you. You do what's best for you. Okay? Always do what's best for you, and don't let anybody intimidate you on what it is that you need to do or what you should be doing. That's their business. Okay? You doing your business. Okay? So about the meat. So I'm trying to think of how to say this without getting backlash. Okay, because I don't know if the industry is going to come after me or not for saying this. But anyway, you just want to make sure you're eating cleaner meats. Okay, so meat has actually, let me change that. Industrial meat has more pesticides in it than your fruits and vegetables do. And that's the honest truth, because the animals get sprayed with it, as well as they consume foods that have been sprayed with it and grown in it. The other thing too is when, let me just put this in here real quick. The vegetables, since I mentioned it, yes, they do get sprayed with pesticide. Organic is better choice. But if you can't get organic or you can't afford it that week, just get the regular, because it's still going to have less pesticides in it than what you're going to get in your meat. And sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes the farms that grow these organic foods are sitting right next to the ones that are non-organic. So you have non-organic strawberries in the field right next to the organic strawberries. So the non-organic ones get sprayed with all this stuff. It has it all that goes into the soil, where the non-organic, it may not be sprayed with it, but they're sharing land. So there's going to be some cross contamination with it. I'm just saying. So that's my take on that. But as far as the meat goes, just make sure you're getting a better grade. So, of course, the best grade is where the animal was pasture raised. Were able to go where they wanted. They had free range. They ate the grass. They lived their life like they were supposed to, like if God intended it. Okay, and then you have the next one where they may be cage free. Cage free does not mean they got to roam in the pastures. Okay, so there's a difference between pasture raised and cage free. Cage free means they basically, like your chickens, for example, they have this big old giant barn looking building and all the chickens are loose in there. That's cage free. So they're still walking all over each other. They're still getting some of the same hormones and, pesticides and things that they were getting. It's just, they just get to walk around free in a very overpopulated space. And then you have the caged animals where they're just basically living in a cage their whole life. That's it. So there's the difference. So if you're going to choose one of those, of course, the one that was pasture raised, that was able to go out in the fresh air, was able to eat the grass and roam like cows, pigs, chickens, and things are supposed to, would be a lot better than the ones that are stuck in these buildings, overpacked buildings on top of each other, which would be better than the ones that are stuck in these cages on top of each other. So their excrement and everything is falling all over each other. So if you're going to do one of those, then I would suggest the grass-fed, pasture-raised, 16 label meat. And I say 16 label, that's just my thing that I came up with 16 labels, because you have all these different labels: non-GMO, BPH free, what is it, responsibly sourced. They got all these labels for everything. So the ones that are the best for you are the ones with all the labels. So I just call it 16 label food. And you want to stick with that 16 label food instead of the rest of it. Okay. If you are struggling as far as finances go and you can't necessarily afford the 16 label, then change it up in a different way. Instead of having meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, get you the better grade of meat and have it just the one time out the day. Okay, so you can get you one package of sausage, you can get you, or bacon, you can get you, decide if you're going to have chicken or beef, and then get the good for you chicken or get the good for you beef, and just limit the amount that you intake in a day. That can make a drastic change in your lifestyle as well. If you went from, instead of having it from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, to just having it for breakfast or having it for lunch or having it for dinner, just picking one of those. And then that will cut back on your budget to where maybe you can afford the 16 label meat because you're only eating it one time a day. And then from there, you can go and start cutting it down and decreasing the amount that you have. Maybe have meatless Mondays or fish Fridays, or, you can cut down the amount that you're having. And since I mentioned the seafood too, that's another one that is a big topic of discussion when it comes to whether it's healthy or not. So you have your farm raised, and then you have wild caught. The thing about wild caught is that the mercury levels in the water are in the fish as well. So you will ingest more mercury, and mercury is bad for your body. It's basically like a toxin. You can look it up. You can look up anything I'm telling you to. And I recommend that. Look it up. Don't just take my word for it. Don't just listen to me. Go look it up and research it. Your farm raised poses different issues. Yes, it is better for the environment because you're not taking from the wild caught, but at the same token, they're not always in the most sanitized environments, and those cause issues as well. So it's kind of a love-hate type of thing when it comes to the seafood. There are some farms, and I haven't researched this. This is just what I was told by a Meijer employee, that they actually, Meijer is one of those that will go out. They do have the farm raised, but their farms have to follow like an ecosystem for the fish or for the shrimp. And they go out there and they check it on a regular basis to make sure that it's eco eco-friendly for the animal, okay? So that they're still getting the same things that they would have gotten if they were in nature, but there's farm raised because they're not in their normal environment. Stay away from the man-made stuff. That's like tilapia. Tilapia is a man-made fish. You cannot find it wild caught at all. Okay, it does not exist in the wild. It only exists in our grocery stores. Okay, and that is because it was a man-made fish. And some of the research that's out there that shows it's kind of a nasty fish. I stopped eating it a long time ago after I read an article on it. I just couldn't eat it anymore. I miss it though. I ain't gonna lie, because I used to love me some tilapia. But yeah, just do your research. Look into the foods that you're eating. Look into the research that's being done, and be careful of who you're looking at. Always follow the money. Who paid for this research that I'm looking at? And if you're looking at one and it's telling you how good meat is for you, how good the dairy is for you, and how it's good for your heart and good for that, go back to it. And I bet you'll find that it was some kind of butcher or some kind of meat industry that is backing that up. Just like they'll do third party research, and you'll find out that that third party research company is funded by whoever it is that is trying to make themselves look good. So always pay attention to the money. Okay, who is funding this research project that you are looking at, the papers and stuff that you're looking at for your information. Another thing, I'm just going to mention this real quick, just because we are talking about transitioning to better lifestyles. I know a lot of lifestyles like heart disease, people feel is hereditary, that is just something that falls in your family. And just to keep in mind, a lot of things that fall in your family are not necessarily healthy for you. One of the reasons that some of these family lines have an increase in heart disease, like my people, like Black people, is because we eat the same diets that our ancestors ate. So if you eating the same thing that your parents ate and that their parents ate, and all of them passed away from heart related disease, then guess what? If you eating the same thing they did, you gonna have it too. So it's not necessarily that it's hereditary. It's just you're having the same lifestyle that they did. So it just takes cleaning up. It just takes some research. Work with your physician with it. Like me, I'm not 100% vegan. So if you see me in the restaurant and you see I'm eating some salmon or some shrimp, just know I am not 100% vegan. I would say 95% of my diet is vegan. 93, 95%. I will enjoy pizza every once in a while. If my body is telling me it needs something, I'm going to give it to them. If it's been 3 weeks and I can't get rid of this, I still feel this overwhelming need to have it, then I'm going to have it, whatever it is, because my body is telling me that it needs something from that. The other thing is supplements. If you're going to do a vegan lifestyle, because the foods that we have nowadays does not have the nutrients like it did 100 years ago. Soils and things are depleted, and they just don't have the nutrients that they used to have. Unless you're growing it yourself and you're able to put it in the soil that your food grows from, you're going to need some supplements. These are some of the supplements that I take. I take vitamin D. This one is 5,000 IUs. I think you can do 2,000, 3,000. I just do that one. This is another one I take every day: elderberry, zinc, and vitamin C. This is your immune system booster. A real good one is vitamin B complex. The reason I do the complex is because it has all variations of the vitamin B, including B12. So when you remove your meat and your seafood and stuff like that from your diet, you will lack B12. So get you some B12. And then I take milk thistle, but that's for my liver, keep my liver clean and support it. I take D-mannose, that's to help with my kidneys. Burdock is just an overall good supplement. I don't really take this for anything in particular. I just take it because it's burdock root and it's good for your body. Another thing is iron. Watch your iron levels. Most of us walk around with borderline iron deficiency. I think the lowest is like the low meter is 37 to like 109 or something like that. Don't know the exact numbers, but I know when I had my blood drawn, because I try to get it drawn often so I can see where my levels are and I make sure that I'm not deficient in anything, which is hence that. Sea moss is another way to get those minerals in you as well. But who was I just saying? Iron. That's what I was saying. Most of us have low iron, and it was a video that I was watching of Dr. Sebi where he was talking about it, and he was mentioning how people are deficient in iron and causing a lot of this disease that we have in our systems. And just increasing your iron levels can help with a lot of health issues as well. I know for me, I was borderline, like the low number is 39. I don't remember what the high number is. I know it was 100 something, but the low number was 39 and my iron was 37. So what I did was I started incorporating spinach into my smoothies every day. And when I went back to the doctor to have my blood drawn again, my levels came up to, I think it was 39 or 41, something like that. So now I actually take a plant-based iron supplement that's a liquid. And I do it that way because iron has a tendency to block your bowels and make you constipated. So to avoid the constipation, I got a plant-based liquid one so that the iron that I'm getting is actually coming from a plant, like beets, like your spinach, things like that, where it's pulling the iron out of it. And that's my supplement that I take. I haven't been back to the doctor to have my blood drawn since starting the liquid one, but I'm sure it has elevated and I can notice it like just dark circles under my eyes. And now that I pointed that out, that's all y'all gonna see. But in any case, so that's something else you want to think about are supplements. Get you a good supplement. If anything, make sure you get a vitamin B complex. That includes B12. Okay. You can also get B12 and other items like nutritional yeast, which gives things a cheesy flavor, adds a different taste to your foods when you do vegan foods. But as you transition, just research. That's all I can tell you is just research. Talk to your doctor. If you have a doctor that's against you changing to a healthier lifestyle, get you a new doctor. Because I know some, I have been told by people before where they tried to make those changes and they went to talk to their doctor and their doctor was basically, oh, that's hogposh. Look at your doctor. Look at how healthy your doctor is. What kind of medication is your doctor taking? So if he's telling you it's all that's all hogposh and then you don't need to really pay attention to that, then you might need to get you a new doctor. Okay. I lucked up. I have a wonderful doctor who is very supportive of me changing my diet and my lifestyle. And he works with me on it. Like because I pay attention and I take my supplements and things and I try to get all my nutrients in, it's down to where he doesn't even feel like, because I was going every 3 to 4 months to get my blood drawn just to make sure I wasn't deficient or running in the wrong area with my, with the minerals and things that your body, the levels that need to be in your blood. And so now it's like really once or twice a year, he needs me to come in and get it checked. So pay attention to that. That's a big one. Even if you're not becoming vegan, still is something to look at because those deficiencies that you can have in your body can be causing your health issues as well. So again, talk to your physician, get your blood drawn, take a look at it. Where are your levels? And that's it. This is a long video, so I apologize. But I just wanted to make sure I got all this information out there to help you, and hopefully it did help you. So I hope you are enjoying your Sunday. It is cold, but it is beautiful. So get out there, take a walk. You know, the cold air can do you some good. That's one thing I will say for her, for my baby. She does get me out the house in the cold, and it is refreshing. We went to the park today. Wasn't nobody else there. This is why I love the fall and the winter, because wasn't nobody at the park, nobody. And I was able to just let her go run and chase squirrels and, you know, enjoy her park time even a little more. So But go out there. Like I said, bundle up, go out there, take you a walk. Brisk air, the cold, it does good for your lungs, okay? As well as your overall health. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll probably put this one in the description below. The rest of it is just, you can take it if you want it. But this one, if you're going to remove meat from your diet and fish from your diet, then this is one that you really should take. And I like this one because, like I said, it has all of them, all the vitamin Bs, including B12. So I'll put this one in the description because this is by Divine Bounty. And it's a vitamin B complex, high potency formula, includes all the vitamin Bs. And I get this one on Amazon. So I'll put that information in the links below for you so that you can look at that one. I also do this one because with the issues that we have now with the, I don't want to say any trigger words, but y'all know what's going on around right now. That they having everybody take stuff for, in your, yeah, I don't want to say any trigger words, but this is good for that because, like I said, this is elderberry, this is zinc, and this is vitamin C, and I take this every day. I love this product. It works wonders, and I can tell the difference when I don't take it. If I miss it, I know I missed it. So I'll put this in there as well. Oh, apple cider vinegar. I knew I was forgetting something. Apple cider vinegar is also something you can take. You can take 2 tablespoons up to 3 times a day, dilute it in water. People, please stop taking apple cider vinegar in just a shot. You are going to tear up your tooth enamel and your esophagus. Okay. It's too acidic. It will tear up your tooth enamel and your esophagus. Okay. So you want to keep both of those. So please, 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 please dilute the apple cider vinegar in 8 ounces of water. Okay. Dilute it. One good way you can drink it and you can have it to where you have it for your entire day is you can infuse it with some fruit. You can put your 6 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in a big container. Okay. We're not talking about some little container. It has to be bigger than this. Okay. But you want to put it in a nice big container. I would say at least 64 ounces. Put your 6 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in there. Fill the container up with fruit. And then pour a good water. I talked about the waters. Purified, distilled, or spring. I don't really like spring water. That's why I almost forgot. But you can put one of those 3 in there and fill it up. And, you can do that the night before. And then the next day, you just sip on it all day. Don't drink it down all at once, but just sip on it throughout the day. And that will have a miraculous effect on your body. Apple cider vinegar does wonders. It helps to balance your pH levels, helps to balance your blood sugars, helps to balance your blood pressure. It's detoxing. It's organ feeding, feeds your organs. Like, it does so much for your body. So it's something that would be excellent to include in your transition as well. So paused that by mistake. That's all I have for you guys. So just remember the 3 things. Decide what it is that you're trying to do. What is your lifestyle? Start removing things the unhealthy foods and changing those bad habits. And then 3, remember, it's not what you can't have. It's how can I have this? How can I make this healthy? How can I have this in a different way? And introduce yourself to some different foods. Okay. But that's it. I know it was a longer video today, so I do apologize for that, but I gave you a lot of good information and a lot of good starts for your transition. So I love you guys. Happy Sunday. Enjoy your day. And I'll talk to you guys again later. All right. Love you. Bye.